All right, well, as a new parent, you read all the baby books about what to expect and what to do, but have you ever thought about the all-important next step when maternity leave is over and you head back to work? Nanny whisperer Tammy Gold is here to talk to us about a new book that deals with that all-important person in your life, besides mom and dad, the nanny. Tammy, thanks for being here, and I got to ask, why are so many of us parents unprepared when it comes to what I call nanny relations?
Because maybe they haven't had a nanny themselves, they didn't grow up with a nanny. It's kind of a really odd, professional, personal, really muddled relationship. This person's caring for your child. You want to be brutally honest, but you don't want to hurt their feelings. It's the most, as a therapist, it's the most complex relationship that I know of because it's so personal, but it's professional.
Oh, absolutely. Now, my family had a bad experience with a nanny, mostly because we didn't really think about how our personalities would mesh. How can parents make sure they found the right fit for their family?
They really need to take time. They have to outline what their needs are. If you're going back to work or you're staying home, you want to make sure you have a nanny who's comfortable staying home with you all day or who's comfortable running the ship while you're gone. Outlining your needs and your child's developmental needs, someone who can handle an infant, someone who can handle a toddler. And number two, you want to be really clear and communicate well. Because if you don't tell the nanny what to do, they're going to make a mistake. So if you want them to go, if you ran out of formula, then you know you want to use the Target Up and Up brand. You got to say, go to Target and pick up this brand of formula, feed the baby the 4 ounces every day. You don't want to assume that they know things that that you may not want, because if they don't know, they may pick a different brand that you're not using. Right.
Okay. I want to ask this, how close is too close? I got a little emotional when I read chapter 11 of your book. The title is I Love Her, But Mommies and Nannies in the World's Most Complex Emotional Bond. I can't tell you how many times I felt guilty for not giving 100% and feeling like, hey, my kid doesn't love me as much as the nanny. Let's talk about that.
It's such a natural fear, and it's such a strange feeling, because when you're watching someone else mother their own child, it's hard not to compare yourself. And when you're watching someone mother you know, your child right next to you, and they actually prefer them, it can be gut-wrenching, and you can, you know, have doubts and fears. But really, it's a wonderful thing, because you know that your child is having strong attachments, which shows they're emotionally healthy, and that they're bonding and they feel safe with someone else, so that you can go and continue your life, whether it's professionally or personally. It's a really good thing, but in the beginning, it's hard to overcome.
Right, absolutely. Now, I love my nanny. I trust her implicitly, but I do have friends who use nanny cams. I don't, but I don't necessarily think it's a good idea. I feel it's an intrusion, but is it? Is it something parents should be open to?
A lot of parents are using them, and I think it's fine, because in all of our jobs there seem to be cameras these days, in a bank or in a grocery store. But I just believe you should be upfront and honest from day one. You never want to catch your nanny harming your child. That's the worst thing that could ever happen. So from day one, you say, I have a camera. You make it not about them. This has nothing to do with you or me not trusting you. This is about me connecting to my child when I'm away, or me making sure my home is safe while I'm away, and make them aware that it's there. And then in that case, it's fine to use. But if you do a lot of trials and a lot of time vetting beforehand, and a lot of reference checks and background checks, eventually over time you should feel safe enough to maybe not have it.
Right, absolutely. Okay, a couple of really interesting questions that I also didn't think about. A lot of parents don't. Let's talk holiday pay, vacation time, taxes.
You want to write all of those down. Like any other job, it is critical that a person has an outline, you know, like I was talking about, what to feed. You want to write down what the holidays are. You want to write down the sick time, the personal days, what their duties are. Again, I talked about, you know, when the formula runs out, you want to go to Walmart, pick up the Parent's Choice. This is under your duties and responsibility. That has to be outlined clearly so that they can do their job efficiently. But most times people start the job with nothing written down, no training, no talk about sick days or holidays or anything, when it's really a job. So you want to outline that on paper somewhere so the duties and the expectations are clear.
All right. Thank you so much. The book is Secrets of the Nanny Whisperer. This is available right now, correct?
Yes, and you can go to store brand formula. There's a lot.com. There's a lot of information there as well. There's experts on the site, and it can help for training the nanny, telling them for infants what to feed them and how to feed them. That's there as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. This has been very enlightening, Tammy.